A great classic look, and then this is kind of this weird mushroom shape, and worse than that, it's made out of plastic that should be used to make the packages things come in, not the things themselves. This is one really bad, cheap, false note in an otherwise nice cabin. Some other weird ergonomic things. When you get into the gear shift here and you're in either 2, 4, or 6, the bones on my wrist hit the power window switches almost every time. I'm constantly wondering, what is that noise? Oh, the window's down a crack again. And if you want to open the little door to put gas in it, it'd be nice if it was somewhere where I'm looking forward. But no, I've got to do a 180, open up the smuggler's box, and pull that thing. That's almost like they don't like me. Our basic theme is very strongly heard under the hood. 2-liter inline 4. This is the big engine. It used to be smaller than this when they first came out, either a 1.6 or a 1.8, depending on your market. 167 horsepower, pretty modest number by today's standards. 140 pound-feet of torque, very modest number by today's standards. But the car only weighs 2,600 pounds, so 60 happens in a respectable 6.9 seconds. You've got a 2128 mpg rating. Therein lies the rub. A car this light, with this small of an engine, should get better mileage, but they're not pushing it on the technology front. For example, no turbo, no direct injection. Now, the first thing you'll notice driving a Miata is that it is not overly powered. You saw those numbers. 140 foot-pounds of torque is not much today. But it's about revving this car. You get it above 3,000, you keep it above 3,000. That's where the action lives. In fact, it's geared toward that. When you're on the highway at 60, in top gear, in 6th, you're still pushing close to 3,000 RPM. The gearbox is short throw and crisp. A lot of companies will say that about their transmissions, and you get in and they're not. This one doesn't lie. Traditional hydraulic power steering. You may have noticed the engine is just mostly behind the front axle line. That gives us what you could call a front mid-engine layout. Bottom line is it gets around a corner fine without feeling long. Now, if you don't keep this car revved, it is a bit gutless. We've got the sports suspension on this car. It gives it a bit of a hard ride. Combine that with the hard bottom seats, and it's a bit of a pain to be driving it every day in crappy pavement. So just bear that in mind, depending on your purposes for this vehicle. Here's why you buy a Miata, because you can use all of it. That goes for very few cars today. If you get down a country lane at a good clip in one of these, it's because you've learned how to really use the car and how to drive. Now, there are some wonderful enthusiasts who drive things like BMW M's and WRX STIs, but it is also true that any moron can make one of those go fast. With their massive amounts of power, computer-controlled all-wheel drive, and intelligent performance stability control. This car has none of that. When something good happens in one of these, it's because you and the car made it happen together. That's what a sports car is all about. Okay, let's price our happy, bug-eyed little friend a 2014 Grand Touring retractable hard.
Good morning. Welcome to the show. CNET here at, what is it, 5:30 a.m.?
Sure.
5:30 West Coast time.
I think you grab the other mic.
I didn't go to sleep.
How about this mic? Does that sound better?
Much better.
All right, ladies.
That sounds like you.
Here we go. Here we go. I'm just gonna do this. Make him do the little. Oh
No,
yeah.
no,
Like
over-
that?
you gotta
That's
go
good.
A little over under.
Switcheroo.
Yeah.
Switcheroo.
Oh, yeah, you talk.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Samsung's Note 4 event at IFA 2014 in Berlin. My goodness. Now, we have a team of our CNET
And New York.
And New York
Everywhere.
and San Francisco.
Samsung's everywhere.
Kalamazoo. All the way out there. I see you, Kalamazoo. Welcome, guys. It's 5:36 in the morning, a.m.
You said it like it's 5:36 in the morning.
Oh, goodness, I did. In the house, joining me, Mr. Donald Bell. Woo! Excellent. Also, Stephen Beecham, just running his butt to the ground. Are you alive?
Good morning, everyone.
Are you awake?
I'm a little out of sorts.
I know.
But we're getting it together. We got it.
You're flawless, man. So, what we're all here for is obviously to see what Samsung has been cooking. There are a lot of stories, a lot of rumors, a lot of things that we expect to see beyond just a Note 4. For you, Mr. Bell, we've been to a bunch of Samsung events, and what are you expecting to see? What do you think Samsung needs to do here today with the Note 4, or anything for that matter?
I'm expecting to see a small MP3 player, maybe. It's like the flagship MP3 player.
Throw it back.
Yeah.
Throw it.
No. I don't know. Note 4, I think that's all they need to make an impressive Note 4. I think that it's a category. I mean, the giant phablet for productivity is something that Samsung really pioneered. I think if I was Samsung, they're probably thinking about how Apple is about to take that away from them, possibly.
Potentially.
With the rumors of there being a giant iPhone on the horizon. So, I don't know. I remember the last Note 3.
Oh, there's that morning scratchy voice coming in. Get it out!
I remember the Note 3 announcement, and it was a lot about the software. It was a lot about productivity. It was a lot about using the S Pen for multitasking. Yeah. I feel like I was watching like a seminar on how to use the software. It just seemed great for people who are really interested in productivity, but for like just casual users who wanted a big smartphone, maybe overkill. I don't know. It still doesn't seem like the phone for me. Maybe I'm not. Don't tell my boss, but maybe I'm not as consumed with productivity as some might be in more high pressure business circumstances. But I don't know what they need to do. They've been having some sluggish phone sales. They've admitted the Samsung Galaxy S5.
Mm-hmm. We're on the 5 now.
We're on the 5. It's not been doing that great for them. And I don't know. I think that this is all like the breath we take in before Apple drops an iPhone 6 too, and we see what that does, whether or not that can succeed where others have been falling down. So
we'll see.
We'll see.
All right, guys and gals, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, you guys can call in to our show. It is actually, I want to see who calls us at this hour. We just want to know that one person is watching. Even my mom. My mom normally watches. She's not watching right now. She's actually asleep. So the number you guys can call us to reach out, touch someone, 1-888-900-CNET. You'll see it right down here, this guy right there. Just give us a call. You can access our brains functioning at approximately 10% right now. If you want to talk about everything going on this September, I like to affectionately call it September. No, but that didn't. I was trying to make it happen, but it's not happening.
Yeah. What about Tech Member?
Wow.
I don't know.
I mean, I've got something for you there.
Mom's not watching.
So you guys can call us on the phone lines if you want to talk about not only what is going on here with Samsung, but let's talk about there's going to be a lot of news announced here at IFA. Really smart watches galore. LG announced their G Watch R, which is a round watch. Asus just announced their Zen watch. Sony's going to release 2 more wearables. A lot of action going on there. We know Apple's event is coming, so just tell us what you want to hear. Talk to us. We will talk to you. But just before we start taking the calls, and the lines are already filling up. That's how magical it is. Someone is awake.
He said they could touch us, so I think that just woke people up.
I would call if I could touch you or Steven. Wow. All right, so what I was going to say, though, before we get to the phone lines is I don't think at least for the Note 4, I think Samsung has really cornered that market for that specific device right now.
Why?
Right? There really is no competitor on the phablet space that has a stylus that if you want
the stylus is the thing that
well, that's
their
the
success is
differentiator.
hinging on.
No, not the success. I'm saying in that market for this specific device, they don't really have a competitor. They really don't. And so as long as they, release an improved, a higher resolution screen, we'll talk about some of the specs in a little bit. I mean, we have them all laid out here, what we expect to see. More S Pen function. I mean, this thing does everything you can imagine. It multitasks, it draws, it creates documents. It does everything for that type of user. There is no other company right now that can touch it from a standpoint of that phablet that does all those things. So if they release an improved one, good. Now, other things that we're expecting to see that I'm curious about is if they'll also release another smartwatch. They just announced this smartwatch called the Gear S, and we have some pictures of that if we're able to pull it up. It's a 2-inch curved screen wristwatch. It looks big.
Yeah.
It's really big right there.
But it hugs your wrist. It's curved.
Oh, yeah,
So you don't notice the giganticness of it.
The interesting thing about this guy is it has a SIM card slot on it, so it'll have you can have it independently work from your phone, unlike other phones. But we're expecting to see Samsung announce another watch, which would be their 6th or 7th watch in a year.
And Samsung style,
Like,
you just
goodness.
scattershot it all out there and see what actually sticks.
Yeah, with their own round screen. So you know what? The lines, you people are loverly. The lines are locked in. Let's take a call, and hopefully I do this correctly because I haven't done it for a while. We're going to talk to my friend Ben in Indianapolis, bright and bushy-tailed. Ben, what's up?
Hi, how's it going? How you doing?
Good. What's going on? Thanks for calling CNET.
Oh, thank you. Just want to know, my wife is stuck between an iPhone 6 and a Galaxy 4. Do you think the Galaxy 4 really needs to knock it out the park to keep people from being so interested in iPhone 6 as far as the bigger screen size?
And you're referring to the Note 4, correct?
To the Note 4, I'm sorry.
I still think we don't know exactly what Apple's going to do with their larger 5.5-inch phone. That is rumored. Again, there are two phones rumored, a 4.7-inch, a 5.5-inch. We don't know what they're going to do on that high end, if they're going to really make it any different, or will it just be a larger screen phone with maybe a few extra features or the same one? We don't know. But from a standpoint of the Note 4 is a 5.7-inch device. It's going to have a 2K resolution screen. It has a stylus which allows you to do a lot of other things that currently the iPhone just can't do. And it just is going to come. This is really just more of a user case thing. How do you want to use your phone? Do you want a bigger screen? And if you're really into all those stylish gestures, or you just want the biggest phone, phone, tablet, phablet out there, that is one of, pretty much has cornered that market right now, you've got to go Note 4. But if she doesn't want a stylus, I don't see why you would look at a Note 4 other than the big screen.
I think it's fair to say that if Apple does come out with the larger phone, that they're not going to jump in immediately with all the complexity that the Note 4 offers in terms of, all the different gestures and multitasking and editing and having windows stacked on top of windows and all that different stuff. I think Apple, when they introduce a new product, they usually start at like a really base level to help ramp people up, and their whole "it just works" philosophy is not going to stand. And the Note 4 would not be an Apple product, for better or for worse, because of how deep it goes and how far you can take it. So I think they are going to be. It's going to be a stark difference of two different large screen phones.
Yeah.
I understand, because the thing with my wife and this dilemma that she's in, I think she's moving more and more towards the Note 4. Her brother has one. A lot of people have them, and for somebody that's a smaller person, she just seems to like it for the screen size and to be able to see better with it.
Are you saying and implying that small people can't use a large phone? Ben, are we discriminating against people with small hands?
I'm surprised because I'm a large person and it fits me perfect. And we have this dilemma between her iPhone 5 and mine, the Galaxy S5, and it's now she sees it that, wow, I get bigger picture, I can store pictures, I can do a lot of things, and I think she's finally turning the page and might go towards Note 4. If it really comes out with a lot of good features, I think that's the way we'll probably go.
Yeah, Ben, thanks for calling so much, and I think that what what Ben's really talking about, right? It just all comes down to use case. And the good thing is that he can wait till Apple makes their announcement next week on September the 9th, and then kind of decide from there. So everything is coming fast and furious. Like, aren't there like literally like 7 or 8 press events in the next week?
It's Techtember, of course there is.
September.
Tech member.
Beecham?
I like tech member, actually. That's my vote.
I kind of like it too. All right. We're going with tech member. Let's take the next phone call from Andrew. Andrew, what's going on?
Hi.
I just heard myself yell tech member.
I think that was me.
I don't want my mom to be watching this right now. Andrew, if you can turn down the volume of your computer, then you can talk to us live. We will be good.
Sure.
Awesome.
All right, sounds good.
What's up, bro?
Hi. I wanted to ask a question about, according to all the trailers and all the images and all the rumors, why has Samsung not gone for a two-sided screen?
Did you say a two-sided screen?
Yes, a two-sided screen. Because in the last trailer, in the last video that I watched on YouTube, they had the U, which had the normal side screen and then a side that's removed the bezel and is just added another screen. Why have they gone on a two-sided screen?
Well, if they have, it's because they probably have a giant warehouse full of screens. That's what they do.
No. Sorry. The question was why haven't they?
Why haven't
because
they?
Because if we see the trailers, it's all still pretty much the same size as the Note 3, and it's all pretty much the same size. It's one-sided screen and everything. So the only difference is pretty much the 805 processor and the quality of the screen. Why have they not chosen to go out on a limb and do a two-sided screen?
Well, I think that, thanks for calling, Andrew. Why? I don't know if there's necessarily a use case for a two-sided screen device right now. And I say that right now. You know, we're starting to see the ability to have multi-touch abilities on certain devices, like on the backside, or some level of button control, like on the LG G3, which right now is, quite honestly, to me, the hottest Android phone right now. That LG G3 was butter. Like, I didn't think putting buttons like where that middle camera area would actually make sense. It's nice. But to your point, I don't know if there's a real use case for it yet, but I'm not shooting it down. I think we're already trying to figure out how to use one screen on a Note. I think 2 screens would be insane.
Well, I think there's also the engineering challenge of battery drain, because usually a screen is the larger the screen, this has been the problem that smartphones have been dealing with for the past few years, is that they've been using screen quality, pixel density, screen brightness, all those things to sell the phone, and all of those things work against the longevity of your battery life, right?
Longevity. That's good.
Yeah.
No. Longevity is a 5 a.m. morning word. Yeah, it actually is in.
It works against the longitude.
It's actually
of your
in
battery
Oxford's
life.
5 a.m. dictionary. So I accept that. I accept that answer.
It's in the ballpark. Anyways, I think that really is a challenge. If you're doubling the screens, you're doubling the battery drain, and on a device like this, that really matters, especially if they're going to be high-resolution, bright screens. But yeah, I think to your point, too, it's a use case, and it's a smudge factor, too. You get double the smudge, double the screens.
I like the smudge on the back when it's glossy. It just really shows you how dirty your hands are, and why you should never lick or touch phones like that ever again. Donald, I'm talking to you.
Well, you shouldn't leave your phone out.
Shouldn't do that. All right, let's take up the next call. Again, if you guys want to call us and talk to us, the number is 1-888-900-CNET. That's a 2638 based on this graphic right here. I don't even have to remember that. We'll just leave that up there. Everybody can see it all day. All right, let's take a call from Jared. Jared, what's up? You want to talk wearables?
Hey, good morning, guys. How are y'all?
Good morning. Where are you calling us from, Jared?
Gallatin, Tennessee.
All right, Tennessee. What's going on?
Guys, I'm a public service member. I'm an EMT full-time, police officer part-time, and I'm very interested in Samsung wearables. I've thus far resisted the urge to get any of the Gear line, specifically because I'm concerned about durability. I know a lot of some of the new wearables are touting Gorilla Glass and things such as that. And for the same reason, I'm interested in these new metal frame chassis. Samsung, all the talk about that's getting me very interested. Do you guys think that we're moving towards all metal frames on all the phones and wearables? And do you think that they're looking more at just keeping the sport line of things, or are they going to pretty much just go all around and make everything completely durable, waterproof, Gorilla Glass, so on and so forth?
Yeah, I'll jump in here first and kind of chime in after me. I think really, quite honestly, all those questions you ask are exactly what the wearable sector is trying to figure out. They're trying to figure out what really sticks right now, right? They're trying different things. They really still haven't streamlined it down. No one has necessarily found that magic, this is it yet. Some people are saying, we'll make it a fitness device. Some people are saying, we'll make it a smartwatch and a fitness device. We haven't seen a standalone smartwatch that doesn't require a connection to the phone just yet, but they will start rolling. Even from a design standpoint, they're trying to figure out if they want square screens or round screens. Everyone thinks a round screen looks sexier and, in my opinion, looks like a watch that we're accustomed to. See, I almost said a 5 a.m. word. I said a 5 a.m. morning word. But,
now it's a party.
So I think they're really trying to figure out from a standpoint of a metal design. I think you'll definitely see that once these form factors figure themselves out over time.
Yeah.
But right now, from a standpoint of speed, first to market, get out the product as soon as you can, you've really, honestly, got to go plastic. And we will see what Apple does on their side on September the 9th. Of course, there's rumors of their wearable. From a design standpoint, what will they take? What will they do? The amazing thing about that is that we have not seen a single leak of Apple's rumored wearable, and we've seen a lot of other great concepts now from the Android side. But it's yet still to be TBD would be my answer.
Yeah, I think the other thing you have to look at is just how the wearable sphere pre-Android Wear, in like the Fitbit realm, how that kind of cycled through over the years too. And a lot of that went to plastic designs and no screen designs for the basis of being able to survive being in the water, shower, being able to be on you all day. And also for the less technology meant longer battery life. And so the whole wearable market right now is kind of to wrestle with the same stuff. You can have the giant screen, or you can have the really bright, beautiful LCD display, but you're going to have battery issues on the other side of that.
Some compromise there.
Yeah, there's going to be some compromise, and I think also there's going to be some. It's going to be a while before the whole market gets sophisticated enough where the plastic products are going to be competing against the higher end products that people are beginning to learn that they might want.
I'm wondering if there's maybe a third-party market here, because I'm actually about to purchase one of the tempered glass screens for my Note 3.
Mm-hmm.
I tragically lost the phone chasing a suspect about a year ago, and ever since then, safety's been on my mind. In fact, I'm using, on my Note 3 right now, I'm using Zero Lemon's case. But I wonder if maybe there's a third-party solution to this where they may develop tempered glass stick-ons for the watches, or perhaps even just more durable cases for it.
You should actually invest in like a batarang case. You can actually take the suspect out with like a Teflon and
he actually already wears a utility belt, quite honestly.
It is basically a ballistic shield. It only protects to like maybe a square inch, but it is very thick.
but Jared, if your reflexes are as fast as I know they are, then 1-inch glass you would be able to stop anything. Quite
Absolutely.
honestly.
I am practically a ninja for all.
See, that's what I'm saying. Honorary ninja, real ninja.
Yeah.
Pretty legit, Jared. So, you know what? Thanks so much for calling and having fun with us, Jared. But, I think this space really is still trying to figure itself out. And from an accessory standpoint, I think there's a huge opportunity, because my whole thing is that I want my watch to, even just from a aesthetic standpoint, look different. And if there's a way for these companies, once they figure out what that form factor is, for third parties to create different shells, cases that actually are luxurious or nice or look like watch or serve a protection purpose, like we've seen in the case market for iPhones and iPads, that is just going to eventually happen. It just is going to take time.
Yeah. I think also because...
Well, guys?
Yeah.
All right.
Go ahead. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, go ahead,
I was just going to say, I lost my train of thought. I have no idea. I was going to say that until people figure out what the combination is that people are going to actually buy, a lot of the complaints we have about these wearables is the price, It's, until people feel... I think the first wearable that's going to hit is going to be one that people feel like they can afford, and then it's going to evolve from there with better quality.
Unless it's an Apple wearable, because quite honestly, people are going to buy that. Let's be real.
I don't know. You're talking like I remember reviewing like the Apple iPod Shuffle that was just that blank bit of steel.
Was it like $99 or something, or $129 when it came out?
I forget. It was it was overpriced, and just explaining how you operated it with the headphone cable.
Yeah,
it was impossible.
Yeah.
And they've made expensive, impossible products before.
And I have bought it. Thanks for calling, Jared.
Unfortunately, I'm subject to their sorcery. That is true.
Buy me, Jared. Buy me.
Come into my shiny store.
All right, Jared. Thanks for calling, buddy.
Guys, thank y'all. Have a good day.
I gotta look inside this.
All right, let's take a peek inside right now. We're not going to leave you guys yet, but ooh, look at that. It's nice, bright, and shiny. This is inside the event at Samsung's Unpacked keynote that will be coming up at IFA. The music makes me feel happy and warm inside.
Welcome to the morning show.
Did you hear that crescendo just happen like perfectly? It was so beautiful.
I feel like I just saved the princess on Mario Brothers.
When it makes a little video here.
Some animated hearts flying out of Brian Pong's hair.
All right, we're gonna take your calls seriously. We love you guys. We're gonna stop goofing around. This is the no fun room.
I'm waiting for the Novocaine to
at
kick in.
6 a.m. Again, just to let you know, the keynote is expected to start in about 3 minutes. So if we do have to kill the phone lines, we will be on after the show to wrap it up. But let's take another call. My man Kenneth from the ATL has been waiting patiently. Hotlanta, what's up, Kenneth?
Hey, I'm doing good. How are y'all?
Good. What would you like to talk about this morning?
Yeah, now it's interesting because particularly since the event is about to start, even though that I'm definitely an Apple person, but I am I'm looking forward to seeing what is going to be what Samsung is going to release today. But also, the thing is that I feel that even though that with all these events that we kind of hype them up and we get all excited about it, but considering that the history that Samsung has had, particularly like when they introduced the Note 3 and how it felt like more like a lecture than anything else about how to use the Note, shouldn't there be like lowered expectations for Samsung this time around so that maybe we can probably be surprised
I think
what they may announce?
You know, Kenneth, I think that it's nice to think that, or, to hope that maybe they set our expectations lower. But I think a lot of these companies, they want you to be excited before the event. They wish probably that their devices weren't leaked, but they can't control that. I think more than anything, when we go into 95% of these keynotes, we know exactly, not exactly, but for the most part, we know most of what we're going to get. So our excitement is tempered. And I think if they could keep everything secret, they would, but they can't, and that's just the way it is these days.
Yeah, I think there's two things too. One is the reason we're all here and we're excited about technology is
because I love you.
We've all had those moments.
Because I love working with you.
Because Brian Tong loves me and it being TEP member, and the romance is in the air. But no, what I'm trying to say is we've all had moments where we've been really surprised and jumping out our seat about something that's really cool, that something that's been introduced and it's made us go crazy, and like that's what makes us love this stuff. But the other thing is Samsung really needs to blow us away precisely because they've disappointed us a little bit, and they've had some disappointing sales, and that's being reflected in their bottom line. And we're heading right into the iPhone 6, unveiling next week, and they need to be able to at least be able to be in that same spotlight and not have failed to get us excited about their competing products. So they are in a position to try to excite us now more than ever for this. I can't say that they really.
I'm really excited right now. Awesome, amazing band playing.
If it's just a weird prog rock band that plays through a Note 4,
the guy was using a Note 4, right?
Yeah,
like
it was
glorified.
Kind of weird.
Yeah, Kenneth, get excited for that, baby.
Yeah,
that's what it's all about.
Yeah. Anyways, we need to get excited. I think it'd be great if Samsung could rise to the challenge of going past our expectations. But
yeah, thanks for calling, Kenneth. We appreciate it, buddy.
All right, thank you.
All right, have a good morning. I'm going to save some of my thoughts for the upcoming Apple event, because there's certain things that, in regards to that whole expectation and fun stuff, but I'm going to keep on taking calls. Oh, you know what?
Yeah.
As my brain just jumps around in 10 different places, we also want to just mention, because we might get cut off when the keynote starts, a few things we also might see here is a Samsung VR headset. Now, we have like a picture of it, and it's at Google's event, they had kind of that cardboard a goggle setup.
Toss your phone in here and make it work, yeah.
But there's a picture that leaked out on the internet that shows this VR headset. I believe it is scooped from The Verge here, and look, that is it actually shows a VR headset. It looks like an S5 in the right-hand corner and some sort of controller on the left-hand corner. And if you look on top of those goggles, there's actually a dial, which could potentially be for a focal point. So there are rumblings that we might also see them dip into here. I'm not exactly sure how long the keynote is going to be. You know, roughly, is it an hour and a half? Or if they jump to 2, we're going to probably see a lot of things. We're going to see, again, a great symphony.
Yeah.
Which...
Little side note here: every one of these cellos
get it?
and
Side note.
Side note. Every one of these cellos and violins has a Galaxy S4 inside them.
Are you serious?
No, I don't know.
Shut up.
Why are they using
That's what
sheet
they have to do with them.
music? They should be using Galaxy stuff.
Yeah,
Are they
should be
using sheet music? Oh,
tabs.
yeah, you're right. They should be using tablets and everything. Crazy. So, yeah, we're expecting to see that. And also, recently, you can just leave that on, Beecham. Also, recently, the Galaxy Alpha, which was Samsung's first phone with a metal frame, they announced that, and it looks like, you know, one of their initiatives, because it was so well received, although it was a middle-tier phone, is that whole idea of a metal design kind of tells all those people that were complaining about the fact that they don't have metal on their phone to shove it, just hush hush. So this is a peek at the Samsung Galaxy Alpha and kind of what they're calling their A series phone. And I think that as we see things evolve, if they start packing that with the latest specs, that might be their de facto kind of phone that looks like a lot of other phones, but it's still their phone.
Yeah. Well, I think that gets to the previous point, too, as far as expectation goes. We are going to see a phone today.
Yeah.
You know, there's only so much you can do with the phone to keep people excited.
Also, we'll just list down. It looks like they are going to start here. So let's just take the keynote. We will be back after everyone on the phone lines. We will talk to you soon. You can stay on the line or just call us back. And here we go. Samsung's Unpacked event at IFA 2014.
Samsung Galaxy Note is a tool for the way we live today. Noting your days for your future. Making it more fun and exciting. Unpacking new and meaningful innovation together. Are you ready to note?
Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm welcome to your hosts for this evening, Rory O'Neill, David Park, and Rachel Riley.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the iconic Tempodrome. I'm Rory O'Neill.
And I'm David Park, and it's our pleasure to introduce you to the exciting new portfolio of Samsung innovations.
And I'm Rachel Riley, TV presenter and lover of great technology.
Before we get going, I want to thank our talented musicians, Band of Wisdom, and Grand Art Ensemble. Bravo.
And more importantly, thank you for all being here today. We really do appreciate your spending the time.
And we'd also like to say a big hello to our 2 simultaneous broadcasts happening in Beijing and New York. And of course, to everybody that's watching online.
Yeah, big hello.
Now, it's time to unpack the new products from Samsung. Welcome to Samsung Unpacked 2014, Episode 2, Berlin.
But first of all, let's start with the strategy behind our great new products. To do the honors, please welcome President, Head of Sales and Marketing, IT and Mobile Communications Division, Samsung Electronics, Mr. DJ Lee.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome, and thank you all for coming. I'm very happy to be here at IFA, and I sincerely appreciate that you could join us today. I also would like to say thank you everyone who is enjoying our live broadcast all around the globe. We are here today to talk about new technology, of course. However, this gathering is not just about exciting new products only. We also wanted to share our dreams, some interesting new ideas, and our excitement for the future. The smartphone industry has been driven by technology innovation. Better quality screen, more powerful processor, and the higher resolution camera, more and the better features. This quest has accelerated the growth of our industry. With the addition of a service and the contents, this innovation have opened limitless new possibility in our life. Samsung has always been at the forefront of mobile history, and we continue to grow together with the industry. We launched the first Galaxy S in 2010 in full collaboration with Google. And since then, we have introduced 5 S series. We created a Note category in 2011 in order to help enhance your creativity, productivity, and efficiency in your life. We pioneered the exciting new concept of smart wearable devices starting 2013, exploring new opportunity and building momentum. We aim to be the most active and the dynamic player in the industry. Our industry is now at a very important moment. Possibly the most revolutionary and the radical changes we have never seen are happening right now. Our industry is about to jump to next dimension. The smartphone is not smartphone anymore. It will be your wallet and the gateway to financial security. It will be your personal television, delivering immersive entertainment and information experience everywhere. And it becomes your computer for work, creating new freedom by allowing your productivity to move together with you. And it is your health coach, helping you perform at your best. In the Internet of Things era, the smartphone will be hub of human interaction, and it will go beyond our imagination. New innovation will create more benefit for more people around the world. Smartphone is becoming most advanced tools that will fully integrate into our lives. Despite all the change, one thing remains constant. We at the Samsung continue to make sincere effort to bring forward new products and services that will improve people's life. At the Samsung, we have always focused accelerating the speed of innovation. I can promise you that we will never slow down. Thank you. We want to be a trigger for new mobile culture. The new mobile culture that advances human potential and enhance what we value most in life. When we're talking about bringing fresh inspiration in the industry, I cannot miss this opportunity to talk about Galaxy Note. We create this category. The original Note large screen and the iconic S Pen launched new standard in smartphone culture. With that progress in mind, ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce the next Galaxy Note. This is Galaxy Note 4. This is Galaxy Note 4. This new Note combines three key attributes. First, the most perfect and refined S Pen and the S Note experience. And the second, the latest and the most advanced Galaxy technology. And the last three, all nicely presented through look and feel of a new design language. The Galaxy Note 4 will continue to set industry standard for how smartphones should help our lives become more enriched, more enjoyable, and more efficient. But we did not stop there. Please now meet new Galaxy Note Edge. This is Galaxy Note Edge. This is Galaxy Note Edge. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Galaxy Note Edge. This Galaxy Note Edge is the first smartphone to use one-of-a-kind Edge screen. This unique curved screen maximizes Note experience with the Samsung innovative display technology. It will lead our smartphone experience to a whole new level. I am very confident that we have reached new level of Note culture with the new Note 4 and the Note Edge. In terms of wearables, we have already announced the newest mobile technology that will further change our lifestyle. This is all new Samsung Gear S. This Gear S brings powerful smartphone experience to your wrist, not only providing a truly connected smart wearable experiences, but also it becomes perfect health mate to stay fit. Samsung Gear S is the start of a new lifestyle revolution. Now, I would like to talk about totally new form factor of wearables. Can you guess? Can you imagine what it is? Ladies and gentlemen, here is most innovative, most exciting Samsung Gear VR. Samsung Gear VR, together with Galaxy Note 4, offers the next generation of a viewing experience. I believe a lot of developers and the content provider will be very much encouraged to join this exciting momentum. With the Gear S and the VR, your mobile experience in our daily life will never be the same. Okay, this was just a brief first look at these exciting new devices. More detailed product information and other pleasant surprises are next on our agenda. I am really honored today to have this opportunity to present Samsung's latest innovations. And I appreciate this opportunity to share few expectations of a future of our industry, especially together with you. I really thank you, all of you, for being part of this exciting moment today. And finally, I also really thank you for your very attentive listening of my speech. Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of the presentation. Thank you. Thank you.
Well, thank you, DJ. As you just heard, you are what the advanced technology from Samsung is all about. Your desire for the next big thing, plus our commitment for trying something new, creates a culture which meaningful innovation and original products can grow. We started the large screen smartphone movement, and we continue to lead in this area. Our mobile multitasking experience is part of our daily lives, and it will continue to grow in importance. Finally, our original S Pen. It bridges the world of analog writing to digital expression. And all this defines the Note culture.
And now, we're adding the fastest network connectivity there is, LTE Category 6 on the Galaxy Note 4. And Note 4's outstanding performance takes full advantage of Google's latest operating system. And we're very proud of our long-term partnership with Google and what that means for you.
Okay, let's give the people what they want. Straight down to the tech, and we're going to kick off with a flagship device that's already received a lot of attention from media and consumers. Now, does bigger mean better is a debate that's raged on for years, but the fact is that extra large screens have proved popular with millions of people around the world, and I'm personally still not sure whether large phone or small tablet is the best description, but just as the liger doesn't ask whether it's more lion or tiger, either way, it's great to look at, and it's an extremely powerful beast.
It's a great analogy, I think, Rachel. But let's take you through the headline capabilities of the Galaxy Note 4. Design, large screen and multitasking, S Pen, and camera.
Okay, then, well, starting with design. This is an increasingly important part of technology, and especially mobile technology, because it's such a personal statement choosing your mobile. So let's see how the Note 4 stacks up, Rory. I mean, straight away, as we saw on the screen, and I can see here, you can see the design continuity from the Note 3. But can you tell us how the design has evolved since then?
Well, sure. The first thing to look at is a sophisticated update on the Galaxy Note 3. We've kept, however, our soft textured back cover.
And you can check out what we've added. It's something that you're going to love. A beautifully cut metal frame that's stylish and strong.
And along with our 2.5D glass, which we first featured in the Galaxy S3, you can see the beautiful natural curve from the surface tension.
Okay, yeah, I can just about see that. But let's be honest, you've used 2.5D glass before, so what difference are us as consumers going to notice?
Well, actually, we've enhanced the strength of the glass, resulting in this elegant curved display with remarkable durability.
You know, that's good news for me, actually, because I'm ridiculously clumsy. I've even run over one of my phones with my car before. So maybe the Note 4 will even stand up to the challenge of having me as an owner.
Rachel, challenge accepted.
Brave, very brave.
So, Note 4 weighs 176 grams. It's 8.5 millimeters thin, and we're releasing it in 4 colors. We have black, white, gold, and pink.
Okay, well, it looks and it feels like a great piece of technology. It's a great size, obviously a brilliant selling point for the Note series in general. And I love all the colours, so it gets good marks for design quality straight away. But let's not be too superficial here, because you can't get by on good looks alone, can you?
Well, that's why we've improved the Note 4's user interface. It fulfills our vision to make your everyday simpler, easier, and more fun. We've evolved the Galaxy S5's clean and vibrant user experience and brought it all to the Note 4.
And we've added a new transparent widget. So now you can access all your information and still enjoy your screen's beautiful background.
Yeah, I mean, you can see it up there, and the transparency of the widget definitely improves the appearance. I mean, there's a reason you choose the wallpaper that you like, isn't there? So that small change just improves the aesthetic really quickly.
Well, that's right. And the Note 4, you can customize the lock screen background with created images that are built around your interests, and your location, and of course, from your personal gallery. Thank you to Yahoo and other third-party contributors for making our lock screens more dynamic with thousands of high-quality images.
Again, I like this. It's clearly a change that Samsung has made with the user experience at heart. And it gives you another option to just maybe using cat photos like me. But you did mention interest there, and I hope cats are still an interest that you can have for all those curated images you mentioned. Anyway, we'll move on. I'll let you get back to me on that. But for now, can you tell me about the new Note 4 screen?
Well, based on our screen history, stretching back to 2011, when we created the large screen smartphone category with Galaxy Note's 5.3-inch groundbreaker, incredible displays have always been part of our passion. And our humble apologies for getting this right.
And Note 4 continues to lead the category with the beautiful 5.7-inch Quad HD Super AMOLED screen, meaning you get sharper, brighter, and more legible image.
So whether you're noting, browsing, reading, watching videos, or looking at photos, even under less than ideal light conditions, you'll still get a great viewing experience.
Yeah, I mean, it really does provide a sharp image. Just flicking through the pictures here, it's brilliant, you can't deny it. But there are already smartphones on the market with Quad HD, aren't there?
Well, Note 4 has Quad HD Super AMOLED, which means it gives you much more access to the available color space. We've advanced its design screen technology that we introduced in the Galaxy Tab S only just a few months ago, and even though it's a little smaller, it still has the same Super AMOLED display capabilities.
So what you're saying is it's more compact, but it's just as powerful.
That's a great way to put it. In fact, Super AMOLED is so much better, it's really not fair to compare. But the best way to understand is for you to see it for yourself.
Okay, well, I think we'll keep fairness at the heart for today. So I appreciate much of what you're saying really requires a head-to-head analysis. But getting back to the real world for a minute, how is a real-life person going to notice the difference day to day? Give me an example.
Well, here's a great example. Multitasking. We know that people use the recent key to move between applications when they could work faster and easier if they could also use multi-window. But many users told us that they found it hard to find multi-window. So we concentrated the functions of multi-window inside the recent key, making it easier to locate and easier to use.
There's so much more you can do in your daily life with Note 4's enhanced multi-window function. Take a look. This reporter, he's using his Note 4 to grab some research material and uses multi-window to prepare for an interview.
Okay, well, there's loads of ways you could imagine that being useful.
And Rachel, if you head on over here, I'll show you another example.
Please do. Wait for me. Thank you, David.
That was fast. Okay.
I used to run.
All right, here we go. So, I was talking with my friend. See what she's talking about at the same time. And if I want to take a closer look at Facebook, I just minimize Hangouts.
And you get the little icon at the top there?
That's right. I can just move it around. Google Hangouts. I can check out her
Okay.
photos more clearly. Tina, I haven't talked to her in a while. And she says, hey, I've been traveling. Check me out on Facebook.
Yeah, just checking. Nothing incriminating on there. It's a good
No,
start.
yeah, nope. So what I can do quickly is I just swipe, and it minimizes, and I can open up Facebook to check out what she's talking about. And just to make it clear,
Sometimes Facebook at work, I won't tell anyone.
It's okay. We all do. But I can open it back up and it's at pop out again.
Well, David, I mean, you made that look really easy. And one thing I noticed, you didn't use your fingers at all. It was all about the S Pen there.
That's true. And I could have used my finger, but for certain tasks, the S Pen is quicker and it's more precise.
Okay, well, the S Pen, it's been around for a few years now, but can you tell me, I mean, why is it better than just using my finger? Because, I mean, there's the phrase at your fingertips, and that exists for a reason, doesn't it?
Well, okay, this is a big question for our category. Samsung believes that the smartphone, to be truly smart, it must have multiple ways of input. For many things that you do on your smartphone, the pen is mightier than the finger or the thumbs.
You may think you know this, but the next evolution of S Pen is capable of so much more. It's the key to unlocking the full potential of the Note 4. And from the moment you take it out, you're taking the first step in unleashing that potential for yourself.
And it does it in a number of original ways. S Pen has always differentiated our large screen devices from all others on the market. So we spent a lot of time improving the handwriting ability, giving S Pen much more of the sensation of writing with a real pen.
You know, that sounds great, because one thing that I hear all the time is that people want the convenience of the digital, but the feeling of analog still.
But that's what we've also identified. So we've doubled the pressure sensitivity from Note 3, and with this enhanced sensitivity, her highest in the industry, on-screen noting now feels almost exactly like writing.
You can note at an angle, you can spin it ever so slightly, and you still get a precise response. And you can note quickly, just like a real pen. And we've added two beautiful noting options, calligraphy and fountain pen.
Okay, so that kind of feature will be good for signing digital signatures, maybe, or perhaps digital autographs. I don't know whether I can ask you to for yours later.
Later, Rachel, later.
Okay, well, you promised.
We've also added a very powerful feature called Smart Select. It allows you to capture several pieces of content in a row. For example, a series of images from websites or different text messages from your favorite blogs. And you can take all of those that you've selected and save and share them with your friends via email or a text message. Now, let's see how David uses Smart Select in his demo.
All right, back to me. So it's actually my sister's birthday today.
Is it really?
Yes, and
Happy birthday to your sister.
I'm using this stage to do that, so that's a personal thing. But I'm thinking of sending her on a trip to Paris.
Nice guy.
Can I be your sister?
Okay.
That's very generous. Lovely.
Cool, done.
Okay, let's plan this trip.
So what I'm going to do, I'm going to look in TripAdvisor, okay? And I want to send her some information. So what I do is I open up Air Command, and I click on Smart Select. Mm-hmm. And I can actually choose images that I want to store.
Very nice.
That hotel looks promising. And then let's get another one here.
Bit of a cheaper option.
Yeah, and I can actually scroll and then find another one right here.
Okay, so it gathers all the pictures together.
Exactly. So, but a part of that is I can actually go and add some other stuff from a different source. So I want to inspire her and send a picture of Paris right
lovely.
there.
Iconic.
Okay, and of course...
It's unimaginative, I have to say.
Yes. And I have to, it wouldn't be a message without a happy birthday message.
Well, you're a lovely brother. And all those images are just shoved together.
Yes, together, right here. I click back onto this Smart Select grouping here, and I see everything I gathered. And I can actually edit things. I can remove things right here, like that.
Very easy, very intuitive.
Yep. And then what I can do is I can send it in an email very easily. Open up a new email. All I do is just drag and drop.
Nice. And
that's lovely.
There you go.
And it's done. It's as simple as that.
It's done, and you send it right away. And also, there's this.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But S Pen can move beyond just being a pen and do some of the same things that you're used to and used to be able to doing with a mouse.
So as the florist is doing, you can select several images at once by clicking and dragging, just like a mouse. And you can share them right away.
I'm going to peer over so I can have those.
For sure. So what we've been used to is you just click each photo that you want, right? Everyone knows that. But now you just click the button, just click and drag. You just select it Very simple.
Well, very simple indeed, and there's something lovely and familiar about it, just the same way as you do it on a laptop.
Exactly.
So, very useful.
You can also do it with text. So if I say we're at a website, I can just click, I drag, and I can click and drag again. So you can copy multiple spots at once.
Lovely. Nice feature. Yeah, definitely.
And you're going to love how S Note uses our advanced S Pen to the fullest.
We've added an S Note widget, so you can access Note in 4 really quick ways. You can write a note, snap a note, type a note, or speak a note.
So whenever and wherever you have an idea, you'll never miss the chance to make a note of it.
And we found a way to write without actually having to write. For when you need to copy something very quickly, perhaps, like from a whiteboard in a meeting. You could use Snap Note to capture the image and then edit it.
I see. So that gives me images. If I'd have had that at uni, it would have been amazing. It would have taken away so much of the pain of lectures. If I'd have gone to lectures, I'd have used that all the time, definitely. But maybe now I'm a bit older, I might use it for my recipe book, take a picture and add my own notes. So maybe more chocolate next time, usually for me. Probably not if I'm making lasagna. I'm digressing. You're right. Carry on.
Yeah, not the lasagna, hopefully. But Snap Note, it's a great feature, and we made it really simple. All you do is press the Snap Note button on the S Note widget and use the camera to take a picture of the info you need. And even if the picture is tilted, Note 4 adjusts the angle of the photo so that it makes it straight.
Another good thing for students.
Yes.
In case they've had one the night before.
Yep, in an auditorium. Then when you press the Convert to Edit button, that's exactly what happens. You can edit, change colors, resize, or annotate the photo as you wish.
I see. So you literally can't do that kind of thing with your finger, which is why you need the S Pen and why it really does add something extra to the smartphone.
That's right.
I get it.
So ladies and gentlemen, that's the new S Pen. Now let's move on to our 4th category, the camera.
Yeah, well, taking photos is such an important feature on a smartphone now. I've caught myself calling my phone my camera on so many occasions. But this really is a competitive area of the smartphone market, and quite frankly, it's not all about the stats, is it?
Well, you're absolutely right, which is why with Note 4, we're going beyond the numbers and focusing on ease of use and real quality photographs. That's why we've made Note 4 with superb cameras, front and back. Note 4 has a 16 megapixel back camera with smart OIS, that's optical image stabilization, and 3.7 megapixel front-facing camera with an f1.9 lens. That's why, when you're using your either camera on the Note 4, your photos will always be clear and bright.
And you know, you can't really talk about cameras without mentioning the selfie. I mean, it's a phenomenon now, isn't it? People are taking literally millions every day. And there was even that monkey that took one. Did you see it?
Yes. We want to help everyone take better selfies and more easily. Even though right now, we're not currently focused on the monkey market.
Well, maybe next year.
Maybe. So with Note 4, we've improved the front camera to capture up to 60% more light. So even under low light, you'll get brighter and sharper images.
Right. Okay, so 60% more light. It will definitely improve the quality of photos. But it won't help you take a steady shot, which is another challenge with selfies, isn't it?
Exactly. So we've used the heart rate sensor on the back of the Note 4 as an additional shutter button, so you have a steady hand to take the shot. There's virtually no motion, so it doesn't generate any shake. All you do is you simply cover it.
Photo bomb opportunity.
And uncover it. You photobombed us.
Did I get in?
There you go. You made it a lot better, actually.
Love it. So better photos, better selfies, and everyone's happy.
You can Photoshop me out of it later.
Thanks.
And of course, as this audience knows, it's even more challenging to get a great Wi-Fi, like Ellen did at the Oscars.
Yeah, Wi-Fi. This was a new term on me, and if you haven't heard of it, then it's pretty self-explanatory. It's like a selfie, except we're all in it.
The challenge, of course, with great Wi-Fis is getting everyone in the shot with that outstretched arm.
That's why we widened the front camera's viewing angle from 77 degrees to 90 degrees. So now you can get even more friends into the shot.
And even better, we've got a wide selfie mode, where you can pan the camera from left to right through 120 degrees, giving you a brilliant panoramic shot with the front camera.
You know, this is brilliant. Recently, I was on a trip with some girlfriends, and we coined something that we hope we invented called the lifty. So there were 15 girls in a lift. We attempted it. It wasn't the best success, like you say, because it's just hard. So maybe the wide selfie mode would have helped us. If the lifty ever takes off, I'm going to use it.
So we don't have a lift on stage right now, but why don't we try the wide selfie with the audience?
With this audience? Okay. Well, this is going to require a bit of audience participation. So if the beautiful people could make yourselves more prominent and everyone else just duck down for this.
Just put your hands
want a nice
up.
photo. Thanks, guys.
Okay.
All right, we're going to do it on 3. 1, 2, 3. Wide selfie.
Cheese.
It does take a couple of seconds, so thanks for the cheers there. It's just processing.
Let's check out this
the
beautiful photo.
results.
Make sure
I've got my
everyone can
eyes
see it.
shut.
It's okay. You still look good. It's okay.
I'm not going to count. I think we should put that on social media later and count how many
We
people
will.
we got in there.
It'll go through the wires.
And that's the wide-angle weeping. Great shot. So now let's take a look at the back camera. With 16 megapixels and high-precision smart OIS, you get more stable pictures, even in a shaky situation. The other benefit to smart OIS is it shows up in very low light settings.
Before, with DIS, even though you got great pictures in low light, it took longer to process because the camera had to synthesize multiple pictures into one. But now with smart OIS, you get the same great pictures, but faster.
So we've introduced to you today 4 key aspects of our flagship product. Design, large screen and multitasking, S Pen and camera. All on the Samsung Galaxy Note 4.
Yeah. Well, really, like the audience, I'm loving everything I'm hearing so far, but I hate to put a spanner in the works, but the biggest bugbear, and that's something that I hear universally for phone users, is what is the point of all these brilliant innovations and features if they drain your device so quickly that you can't actually use it?
Well, agreed. And we've taken great care and spent millions of hours perfecting the battery experience of Note 4.
Now, we all have those days where you don't know if you're going to get through on a single charge, right?
Yep, mostly.
So wouldn't it be helpful for those times when you can charge your phone that it happens really fast?
And with fast charging, you can go from 0 battery to around 50% in 30 minutes, when it usually takes an hour.
So 0 to 50 in 30.
Ish. Ish.
Yeah. That's a great stat. You know, I wish I'd have known that before I worked on this TV show and we invented something we called phone charging trousers. So the idea was as I walked, it charged my phone, but they had me kind of lunging around, literally looking like an idiot like this. I don't know why I'm recreating it. But it charged the phone so slowly, and I probably would have had to walk to maybe Paris to get any kind of usage out of my phone. So it does show the extreme measures that people will go to get battery power, though.
But Rachel, for clarification for you and the audience, fast charging from Samsung does not involve lunging, trousers, or a jaunt to Paris.
Well, it might be fun, but thanks for clarifying. Cheers, Rory.
In Note 4, it has very low power consumption, which improves battery life by 7.5%.
Okay.
It sips, not gulps, energy from the 3220 milliamp hour battery, which is only 20 milliamp hours larger than Note 3's.
So what you're saying is that you've barely increased the size of the battery, but you've jumped from full HD to quad HD, so surely we're just going to have to charge the phone more often.
So you might think that, Rachel, but because we made every component of Note 4 even more efficient, battery life has actually improved.
And it's an impressive advance in technology, and we're very, very proud of it.
People will be glad to hear that. Yeah, exactly.
And ultra power saving mode, which was such a hit on the Galaxy S5, is also now on the Note 4.
The battery capabilities of Note 4 are the first steps that Samsung is taking to address the power issues on our mobile devices.
Okay, well, we've seen a lot of features that involve the visual, but what about the phone and the audio side of things? Because it's easy to forget that the Note 4 is still a phone, after all.
Absolutely, and it's a great phone. We've enhanced the voice recorder on Note 4 with a couple of interesting features. As you can see here, actors are sitting around a table rehearsing their lines. The Note 4 is tracking them.
Okay, well, it's intrigued me, but I don't feel fully filled in. So what's the tech here?
Well, Note 4 has 3 new microphones to enhance the voice recorder. In meeting mode, the new feature you saw in the video, you can record sound from up to 8 distinct directions, and then selectively replay the recording by direction. Interview mode is directional recording with ambient noise suppression, ideal for journalists because it's perfect for recording two people in a noisy environment and then playing back one voice very clearly.
And Note 4's improved noise cancellation helps when you're talking on the phone, especially when you're on speakerphone.
We've introduced new content and accessories that allow people to customize their phones and make them more personal.
We have a great lineup of accessories, including 4 covers. We have the S-View cover, the Flip wallet, the S-View wallet, and LED cover, which come in a variety of colors and 2 very stylish designs. And we've also collaborated with Swarovski to create a very special crystal back cover.
Okay, now you're talking.
What do you think, Rachel?
Well,
They
I mean,
like
as
it.
you heard, a lot of range, very popular, but I hate to be a stereotypical girl, but I like the sparkly one.
Me too.
All right, you guys, I like it too.
It sounds like everyone likes the sparkly one. It's the biggest buzz so far. Like mine.
Now, because S Pen is such a big part of Note 4, it makes sense that one of our newest collaborations is with a company whose name is synonymous with the finest of writing experiences. We'd now like to introduce to the stage a new Samsung partner. Please give a warm welcome to the Chief Marketing Officer of Montblanc, Jens Henning Koch.
Thank you very much, Rory. It's great to be here. The Montblanc Meisterstück this year celebrates its 90th anniversary, and soon after its launch, it became a legend not only within the world of writing culture, but also beyond as a true luxury icon. With its unique blend of exclusivity, functionality, and refinement in mind, this event reveals a perfect match we are very excited about. Montblanc's century-old heritage of craftsmanship meets Samsung's cutting-edge and impressive innovations. Today, we are very proud to introduce fine writing to the digital world by presenting Montblanc's first screenwriters, the classic Pix and the contemporary e-Starwalker. Both new writing instruments feature an innovative e-refill concept. Being a Montblanc, thus being a fine lifetime companion for its owner, their refills for e-writing, for writing on the screen, and the traditional refill for writing on paper can be easily exchanged and vice versa, thus allowing its owner to write with the Pix and e-Starwalker in both worlds. To carry the digital writing experience even further, we in addition launch an advanced flip cover for the Galaxy Note 4. With the cover, you will be able to experience the very best leather finishings, be it the ultra-resistant Extreme or the refined soft grain leather. A special chip connects the Gallery Note 4 and further enhances the writing experience with unique Montblanc contents. For example, you can select between 6 virtual Montblanc fountain pen nibs, allowing you to create and share extremely refined and personal content and notes. Combining fine writing tradition and cutting-edge technology to create stunning fine lifetime companions for you. We are very excited about this cooperation and are very much looking forward for future projects. Thank you. Thank you.
Another great example of mixing the familiar analog experience, like using a pen, with new digital technology. So, yeah, I can see why partnering with Montblanc is good for you both. Okay, I think we've covered the optional extras. So now let's move on to the freebies. Everybody loves a freebie, don't they?
Well, Samsung Galaxy Gifts offers Note 4 users free rewards from top content and services brands to make the Note 4 experience more enjoyable and more productive.
We have a great partnership with Dropbox, which will give users 50 gigabytes of cloud storage for 2 years. We also want to give a big thank you to OnLive, Magisto, Parallels, and to all of our Galaxy Gifts partners.
And those greatest innovations are those that revolutionize the everyday. And with Note 4, we're enabling new ways of working, playing, and interacting with the things you love. We're very proud of the innovation that we've brought to the Galaxy Note 4, and we're confident that when you see it, you'll really love it. So in addition to the fabulous design, Note 4's key capabilities: Quad HD Super AMOLED, large screen and multitasking, the all-new S Pen, now with Smart Select, the brighter front and rear camera, and of course, fast charging. These are the differentiators for Note 4 that will be available in October.
Great, thank you, Rory. So October, not long for us to wait. But since we are waiting, I hear the next device that you're going to reveal to us is a bit on the edgy side.
Oh.
Kind of cutting edge.
I see what you did there.
Living on the edge.
In fact, our next device does redefine form.
And it's a perfect example of how Samsung is moving from the impossible through to the possible. Today, as you heard from DJ, we're introducing a special edition of Note 4 called the Galaxy Note Edge. This edition is completely new, using a curved display innovation that we know will make a difference to how you interact and use your smartphone.
I mean, this really is, if you can see it, it's truly a thing of beauty. It's gorgeous.
It's not only beautiful, it's also practical. It all starts with an extended screen along the side of the device we call Edge Screen. And it's a fresh new vision for what a display can be.
And the possibilities of Edge Screen, as you can see, we are really excited about, because when the developer community starts to add to this experience.
For today, though, let me show you where we're starting. The main screen and the Edge Screen are Quad HD plus Super AMOLED. The Edge Screen can house your frequently used apps as a way to extend your home screen instead of having them always along the bottom. An Edge Screen can also become a series of 7 scrollable panels that you can customize.
It's genuinely inventive. I think that's definitely worth a round of applause. There's a ripple there.
You can use Edge Screen also as a separate screen entirely. And you can always access these quick tools just with a swipe down, such as flashlight, ruler, stopwatch, timer, and voice recorder, independent of what's happening on your home screen.
And one of the scrollable panels, called Express Me, can be personalized with a picture from your gallery to express yourself on your mobile. Other panels show information and act like a ticker. And this media stream is driven by your interests, so you're always up to date with sports, or news, or stocks that are all powered by Yahoo.
So are there going to be cat pictures available on this one, then?
I'll get back to you on that, Rachel.
Okay, please do.
Edge Screen, however, is a great place for a night clock, so you don't have to wake up to find out how long you've got left to wake up.
And when it comes to entertainment, the video play pause controls can also be on Edge Screen, so you get full screen, uninterrupted viewing. And to avoid distraction from notifications on your main screen, they'll scroll on Edge Screen instead.
And finally, whether you're using S Note or camera, the menu and toolbar on Edge Screen shows the content that you can see in the main screen. The camera shutter can also live on the Edge Screen, so if you choose, it can be positioned exactly like it is on a real digital camera.
Well, it's beautiful. Obviously, I don't need to restate that. Well, it's beautiful. Obviously, I don't need to restate that. But David, you kind of skirted over it. If you only have to use the edge screen and not activate the front camera, it must save a lot of that precious battery life as well.
Yes, that's right. So that's another great benefit. Also, Note Edge will have 2 flip wallets designed to take full advantage of edge screen so that even when the cover is closed, the edge, it remains visible.
So as you can see, there's a lot of meaningful innovation built into this special edition product, which will be available in select markets. The software development kit will be released today, and the phone is all yours to experience in our Experience Zone.
Well, I'm personally really excited to have a proper play of this later, so it's going to be a race to that Experience Zone when this is finished.
That's right. Well, that's the Galaxy Note Edge.
Gorgeous. Beautiful.
So if we can, let's move on to our next new device. This one builds off a product we introduced last year right on this very stage.
Yes, we introduced Galaxy Gear right here in the Tempodrome, and it's achieved a place in the market that we're very proud of, which says we're definitely headed in the right direction.
And the next generation of gear is a big step forward in wearable technology. We call it Samsung Gear S. For the things you do most often on your phone, Gear S brings the freedom of a smartphone to your wrist. 3G connectivity and a curved Super AMOLED display means you now have the style and the freedom you've been looking for in a smart wearable. You can go for a run, your phone's at home, no problem.
Well, that's refreshing to hear, because I cycle a lot, actually, and I normally have my phone kind of balanced on my basket for navigation. And cycling in London, if you know London, it rains all the time, so anything that makes that process easier for me is a winner.
Well, then you'll be happy to know that Gear S doesn't need to be constantly paired with your smartphone, because it has its own SIM card, meaning you don't need to bring your mobile or any other device with you when you go mobile.
Of course, the first time you set up Gear S, you do need to connect it to a Note 4, Note Edge, or any of the more than 20 Galaxy products that support Gear S. Additionally, for any software updates or to download apps, you have to reconnect to a Galaxy product. But after that, freedom.
Well, that's a real step forward for smart wearables. So it's not just a separate screen, but it's actually got its own independent functionality.
Exactly.
Well, I'm really impressed by the screen as well. It's just the whole size of my wrist.
Well, with Gear S, we wanted to replicate as closely as possible the smartphone experience. So, for example, in only a 2-inch display, Gear S still offers a full QWERTY keyboard. And it's not just any display. It's a 2-inch curved Super AMOLED display. The curve means that it fits your wrist comfortably. It does. And the Super AMOLED display means that it's bright and clear. The interface has also been improved, and it's very easy to use. You can read messages and notifications in just a single glance.
We've also designed a variety of new clock faces to satisfy your on-demand style.
Yeah, I've just been having a fiddle of that, so it's great. You can have a lot of different looks in one. So say I was starting my day in the gym, then going to the TV studio, and then maybe winding up at an ambassador's ball. I've got a different look for each, and my wearable keeps up.
And not only does it keep up, you don't need to have your smartphone with you the whole time. So how about we take a closer look? You can see here in one of the clock faces, it shows the number of steps walked today, battery status, number of notifications, and of course, the date and the time.
And we've also improved the ease of use with simple swipes. So Rachel, perhaps if you could take your phone and swipe to the right.
Swipe to the right. And I've got notifications.
That's right. And notice that the notifications, they're ordered by time and sorted into easily checked sections.
They are indeed.
So let's try swiping left, please.
Swiping left. And left to widgets.
And then finally, swipe up.
Up. Up. Or let's go back to the home screen. And up. Fingers are too fat. And I've got apps.
That's right. And once you check the home screen to see what's happening, you can go straight into the app that you need.
And without my sweaty palms, it's simple.
Well, there's a lot more to this wearable, which brings the freedom of a smartphone to your wrist. If you've ever forgotten where you parked your car, you'll be glad you can ask your Gear S where it's parked. GPS. And as you can see, you can make and receive calls directly on your wrist, as well as get calls forwarded when you're away from your smartphone. That's because with Gear S, we've significantly expanded the communication capabilities to include not only Bluetooth, but also 3G networks and Wi-Fi.
You'll get notifications. You'll get those notifications from social networks, from email and other applications, as well as instantly receiving incoming messages.
That's right. And then, just like with your smartphone, you can easily reply using the on-screen QWERTY keyboard.
Great, so even without my phone, I can receive my text message and I can reply to them.
Yeah, or you could reply using the enhanced S voice.
Which works even better than before because Gear S has a built-in engine to process voice, which means no need to talk to a server and therefore no delay.
Okay, and just like the excitement that you're anticipating for the developer community for Note Edge, I imagine you're hoping for a similar response for Gear S as well?
No, we certainly are, because the product is only as good as the apps that run on it.
Well said.
And since we have introduced the Gear a year ago, we have established more than 1,000 apps with partners including Expedia, Glimpse, Endomondo, and the good news is they're all supported by Gear S.
Wow, done your homework.
Samsung knows the importance of a healthy ecosystem that's built around our products. And that's why we're constantly working with partners to create rich applications specifically for Gear S, and why we've invested in our platform to develop compelling native apps.
Two of which are S-Health, which we're going to talk about later, and Here for Gear. Now, Here for Gear is a pedestrian navigation service that uses GPS to help you get around. And it's all customized for Gear S and built right in.
And David, you mentioned S-Health a second ago,
Yes.
and that's intrigued me because health and wearables is such a hot topic right now. I mean, it's literally changing the way the world's health needs are met.
Yes, and that's why Samsung has developed a particular platform, and an entire platform for fitness and well-being. We call it S-Health.
Okay.
So now you can link our new Gear Circle wearable to the Gear S and listen to your workout music. Plus, connect Gear S to a variety of apps and sensors via Bluetooth or ANT+ to help monitor your health and exercise and give you real-time information about both. And with Gear S, you can use S-Health and get your notifications no matter where your smartphone is. Our built-in pedometer analyzes all your movements and gives you info about how you're doing.
And with Gear S's GPS and altimeter, you have better access to information when you're on your workouts. Gear S is optimized for different exercises, like running versus cycling, or even perhaps hiking versus weightlifting.
UV information is at your fingertips from a built-in sensor. So for example, just before you go out for a jog, you'll know what kind of SPF protection to wear based on recommendations from the app. And after the workout is finished, you'll get suggestions on how to improve. It's like having a personal coach.
Not only does S-Health keep you in shape, but we've also collaborated with Nike to create a running experience that allows you to leave your phone at home, still map runs out, and stay motivated while on the move.
And of course, we made sure you can fully personalize the straps and bangles with a variety of colors. Plus, more exclusive accessories with Swarovski.
Lovely. Back to the crystals again. I like it. Crystals are popular.
We all love the crystals.
The other thing I liked about Gear S is that it makes life easier because normally you'd have to reconnect your fitness band to your smartphone to get your stats. But with the Gear S, it's just all here on my wrist.
That's right. Because we believe that with Gear S, Samsung delivers the world to your wrist.
And for those times that you want to be out of this world, we've got a product for that as well.
Okay, I've been waiting to this part. I'm so excited. Ever since DJ Lee mentioned it at the top of the show, I heard it got a huge reaction. And I'm going to put my cards on the table. I'm a massive VR fan. Since the first go, I've been hooked. It's so immersive, so can we get it out?
And this is going to top anything you've ever experienced or expected.
I'm sure.
Virtual reality allows us to extend the way we look, we see, and we can experience content. We can be there, wherever there is, from travel to distant or even imaginary lands, to games of skill or adventure. If we can't have a direct experience of something, then we want the best indirect experience we can possibly dream of. And making that dream come true is Samsung's bold next step towards ultimate viewing experience. Mobile virtual reality powered by our Galaxy Note 4. This is our Samsung Gear VR Innovation Edition powered by Oculus.
Thank
Rachel?
you. For me, where am I going? Where are you taking me?
Take a seat, please have a seat.
Okay, safety first.
Yes.
We've designed Gear VR especially for innovative consumers and developers who, with the support of Samsung, will move virtual reality to the bold next new level.
So all you need to do is you put your Note 4 right in, like we did, and you put on the headset, just like you did, and now you're ready to go anywhere.
Now I'm seeing this for the first time, so I'm just going to describe. Hopefully there's something like what I'm seeing behind me. There's people here. Oh, you're now a woman in a tutu. Whoever said that voice. I've got a couple of acrobats in front of me, and it's like I'm in a theatre. It's like I'm there, because I can turn around now. All I'm watching is empty seats and back, and they're carrying on. I mean, it's incredible.
So what you're seeing is a 360-degree virtual reality just by turning your head.
It's keeping up
like
with my movements as well. There's absolutely no lag. The screen is amazing.
So,
I mean, and the sparkles on his outfit.
As Rachel's almost there, we're going to have to take that off.
Take it off.
We might have to continue the show.
Back in the room.
Okay.
Thank you, Rachel.
So it's fabulous. I mean, there's so many hyperboles I could use, but can you tell us a bit about the hardware of the headset?
Of course. So that is silver-colored glass applied onto a white body. In addition to style, we designed the headset focusing on ergonomics and comfort, so nothing stands between you and the immersive experience. And because the Note 4 is housed inside the Gear VR, you get to have an untethered virtual reality.
Absolutely. I mean, it looks brilliant. I think you'll agree. It's so stylish. It wouldn't look out of place on something like a Daft Punk video.
Right.
And VR is going to be used a lot by gamers, isn't it, who demand a smooth experience. And if I'm judging by my experience I just had, then you guys have nailed it.
Well, it's great. And of course, as you mentioned, in order for people to enjoy full VR content, the input has to be processed really smoothly without delay or any latency. So Samsung has applied the industry's top-notch super accuracy sensor into the Gear VR. It dramatically reduces the processing time to turn motion into pictures. And it processes at a tremendous speed of less than 20 milliseconds. At that rate, latency isn't noticed, so that you get that comfortably rich VR content delivered at industry-leading speeds.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly kept up with me. And rarely do you see something that you just know is the future of tech, but this is it. And I think I've already mentioned, but the Note 4 screen in here is absolutely incredible, because another thing that a VR headset must have is great picture quality, isn't it?
It sure is. And because even though there's no delay in processing content, the focus will be disrupted if the display resolution is low.
Yeah.
But that's not a problem with Gear VR, because we adopted Super AMOLED, which is the key for providing Quad HD VR, content at that amazing response time. With Gear VR, you'll be able to enjoy a high-resolution display with a 96-degree viewing angle, which is the equivalent of standing 2 meters away from a 175-inch mega screen.
Wow. So 2 meters away from 175 inches. You know, I don't actually have a wall in my flat that's 175 inches, so this is perfect for me. If I just take this now
Rachel,
and
that's
test
really
it back
nice to
at
know,
home.
but we'll be taking care of the Gear VR. Thank you.
Worth a try.
But of course, we didn't get there alone with this great capability. We had a great partner. Please welcome to the stage Chief Technology Officer of Oculus, John Carmack.
All right, I'm really excited to finally be able to talk about this. It's been a secret project for too long. So I've dedicated the last year of my life to making the best mobile VR system possible, and I'm really proud of what we've been able to accomplish so far. So a completely mobile VR is a magical thing. You can pick it up and take it with you. You can put it on and then turn completely 360 degrees in the virtual world. But it's a hard problem to do well, and we need to bring a lot of different technologies to bear on this. So one of the biggest ones is the Samsung Super AMOLED display. Unlike an LCD panel, which can take 10 or 20 milliseconds to change pixel state, the Super AMOLEDs can turn on and off almost instantly. This lets us light up a pixel and then turn it off a fraction of a frame later, which lets us kill motion blur. Now, these screens are such high resolution that there was a lot of skepticism about what level of graphics we would be able to render at the consistent rates necessary for virtual reality. But Samsung's gotten us very low-level access to the hardware platform here, and this has enabled us to develop an innovative software architecture that can continue to maintain smooth, accurate updates from the head tracking, even when the system is actually overloaded. So the critical path in virtual reality is the time that it takes from some motion of your head until the time that updated light from the display hits your eyes. This is the motion to photons latency. This starts with the sensor inside the head mount display. Now, it's similar to what's inside the phones, but it updates at 5 times the rate, and it's calibrated to a much higher standard of accuracy. Now, unlike a typical touch event that winds through the system through all sorts of different layers, we have a custom kernel driver that our sensor talks to that then talks to our apps, cutting out a lot of middlemen along the way. Then our applications are run with a real-time scheduling priority. This means that if your email client decides to try to make an update in the middle while you're playing, it can't preempt the virtual reality threads, which is very important. We also have guaranteed clock rates, which is unusual in the mobile world, where clock rates are usually constantly fluctuated to optimize different things. But now developers can choose a specific rate and then optimize for it. Our graphics are being drawn with multiple context-prioritized GPU threads. This means that the main world can be drawn at variable rates, while a second higher priority thread is updating the screen in very quick response to the head tracking inputs. This is very, very important for our critical, closing that loop of how you move to what you see. Now, the drawing is done to a completely unbuffered window. There's no page flipping going on here. We're racing the raster, drawing just ahead of the scan that's pulling it out to the Super AMOLED display. And then the display turns on and then turns off again quickly to kill the motion blur. The photons jump off the screen, bend through the lenses, make their way to your eye, and hopefully you say, wow, this is really impressive. Now, this is just the beginning. We have active technology work going on in all the different aspects here, and we are expecting to make continuous improvements as we go forward. But this is really a landmark first step. So thank you.
John, before you go, we are absolutely delighted to have you here on stage, of course, and even more delighted to be taking that first landmark step in this technology with you. Finding great partners is a large part of making that progress. Together, Oculus and Samsung have created, we think, the best mobile virtual reality experience, and we're really looking forward to bringing it to market with you. John, thank you very much.
Oh, it's been a great partnership that's allowed us to make this possible.
Thank you.
Great. Thanks, John.
Thanks, John. For me to get to try that on stage here today, because I really do love the Gear VR. And the educational possibilities are incredible as well. I mean, if you think about it, they're already training pilots using VR. So just think about the possibilities when we could all have the opportunity to have one of these devices in our own homes. They're limitless.
That's one of our hopes, Rachel. Yet, even with all this cutting-edge hardware and software, in reality, if you will, consumers want, need, and deserve exciting content. So without the content, there really is no experience.
So we'll be offering you a virtual movie theater of your very own. The Oculus VR Cinema. Engaging virtual reality games and content you can enjoy in a full 360-degree experience. And just like the other Samsung products, we're investing in the mobile VR ecosystem to make sure that top-tier partners representing a wide range of brands develop great content in the areas of gaming, entertainment, experiential, and of course, education. Through ongoing cooperation with Oculus and many other partners, we'll keep working to provide amazing content for the Samsung Gear VR.
Well, David and Rory, this really is a remarkable range of devices you've shared with us today. You can be very proud of them, that's for sure. First of all, there were all the amazing improvements you made with the Note series, with the new Note 4, and then breaking the mold in such an innovative way with the new Note Edge, and then you moved us on upping the game with Gear S, and finally, the incredible technology you've got going on there with Gear VR. I know you're all excited to have a go very shortly, but what a great portfolio.
Thank you, Rachel. We're really excited about the great portfolio, but let's be reminded of the hero of the day.
Samsung Galaxy Note 4.
So thank you all for having me here today and showing us all those wonderful products.
Rachel, thank you for being here.
Yeah, it was really great to have you with us here, Rachel.
My pleasure.
Ladies and gentlemen, please, Rachel Riley. And most importantly, thank you for taking your time out of your busy schedules to be here with us today. We really hope it was worth your while. For those of you who've been watching the live stream online, you'll want to stay for a few moments for a live talk and a show about the Note 4 and a quick tour of the Experience Zone. And now, for all of us that are here, and it looks like you've begun already, it's time to get your hands on in the product experience zone. Thank you and have a great afternoon.
Enjoy. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, the product experience is now open. Please make your way behind the stage. A media lounge is also open in the foyer area.
All right, that wraps it up. Samsung's Unpacked event. A little overwhelming with 3 cooks in the kitchen,
Man.
like bouncing off each other and pinging off each other. But there's actually good stuff that came out of it. I thought the Note 4 just kind of what we said it kind of had to do, just continue to get better. They showed off a lot of cool features.
Yeah.
You just have to ignore all of that stuff around it.
I suppose all the events are like this. There's just a lot of hype, a lot of rehearsed statements about
brutal
how amazing everything is. But yeah, I still felt like I didn't really get a real sense of the phone itself.
Really?
But we're gonna have we'll have our first looks up if we don't already, hands-on experiences.
Yeah.
I'm really curious to hear from our editors what they think the differences are and how much better or different it feels from the Note 3.
Yeah, the whole selfie cam stuff. I mean, I do think people will definitely use that. The S Pen stuff. I mean, you know, a lot of the cool things that it's done before, it still does. I thought it's solid. I don't think they're going to lose any market share with this. But again, that whole suite of what they announced is kind of coming before Apple's big push and big press. So if you're a Note 4 fan if you're a Note fan, I think you'd actually like beyond the distractions of the actual keynote, which are distracting. I think you actually really like this product.
Yeah, we didn't get any pricing, but they did say like it was going to be available in October. I gleaned that.
I believe so. Yes.
And then what about the Edge? What do you think about that? That was a surprise. I didn't see that one coming.
Yeah, you know, we had seen they had showed off that concept of that wrappable screen at CES this past year, and they were talking a lot about bendable screens. I thought it's really cool. I don't know if I would use that. I need to see it in person to judge for myself, but at least I like the fact that they try something that no one has done.
Yeah.
I will always give credit to any company that tries something that no one has done, and to see if it works or not. I think it actually has real functionality. I like the idea of a sports ticker, except that when it's vertical, it's kind of a little. I want to, you know, I'm so used to the idea of seeing any kind of ticker horizontally, but I do like that they didn't really focus it on as much. But you know, they're trying to show off a lot of things. That was a surprise, though.
Yeah, when old DJ pulled that out of his pocket in the beginning.
Well, the two
How
biggest
many phones does he have?
The two biggest responses that we saw from the keynote were the Samsung Note Edge being revealed, and then the Swarovski crystal backing for the Note 4.
Mm-hmm.
And
what about the deluxe pens that came out for
the Mont Blanc pens? My voice just cracked because it's still
Mont
Blanc. So we have people calling in. We're gonna take a few calls. Just hang around, get some of your impressions and your reactions, and then we'll get out of here. But we do want to take your phone calls. If you want to call us, the number is 1-888-900-CNET. Right down here. Boom. We already have people on the phone, so let's go kick it over to G. G, what's going on?
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, where are you calling from?
Florida.
Florida, nice. Well, good morning. You're more than awake. You've been awake for a while.
That's correct.
What do you think? What are your thoughts of everything here?
Well, the Galaxy Note Edge was pretty awesome.
Yeah,
I like that. That was pretty impressive. I was calling in actually to ask about the new lineup that they didn't really announce today.
Are you referring to like the Galaxy Alpha, kind of the phone line that they've been talking about? Because I know your notes say something about an all-metal lineup.
Yeah, like I think after you recently reviewed the Galaxy Alpha, they also had announced like a new Samsung all-metal lineup that's not the Galaxy line.
Correct. Well, I believe it's the A series line that you might be referring to that has the metal frame and that has the metal design elements. Is that what you're referring to?
Yes, that one. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so they didn't really show off anything. I mean, there's been reports that is definitely the direction they're going to be heading after it receives such good reviews. Just from a design standpoint, people aren't complaining about the fact that it's all plastic anymore. It's almost like, all right, just put something metal in it, and people won't complain anymore. You saw those design cues though in the Galaxy Note. That edge, again, it had that metal edge, and that looks pretty much like the Alpha design. So to me, it's a no-brainer that this starts getting incorporated across their product line in the future.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do you think that they'll be actually announcing that like later this year, or do you think that'll be something maybe next year?
I think, quite honestly, I think there's still a little time. Samsung drops things all over the place. I mean, before this, after this. So we might hear at least something. Right now, though, the Alpha line is kind of, the hardware inside is more of a middle-tier phone, and I've got to imagine when the next, the S6 is announced, that we'll probably see kind of more of the full-court press with that design element, because they're still going to sell the S5. It's doing well enough, so I don't think they're going to just stop it. All of a sudden, they'll just kind of stick with their yearly cycle.
Right. Okay, cool. I was curious about that. And I have to definitely agree that the whole 3 rehearsed thing going on was really annoying, kind of.
I'm not even stupid, and it's like hard to keep track of. One guy's talking, then like, Steven, what please just tell me your thought. I mean, God.
I like how you preface it. I'm not even stupid.
I'm not.
It was just really distracting, you know.
Well,
I completely agree.
We're not even. We're obviously like, we like keynotes that have some sort of a story and have a sequence, but it was like they would talk about the feature, and then the woman would be like, "Oh, I know. If I was going to do this and I was going to go run," it was like every time, and it just.
We were just rephrase what the other guy said as a question.
Yeah. We were looking for a value add. Not like just completely, you know.
So you're saying you're looking for a value add?
Thank you. That is what I'm talking about. But G, thanks so much for calling. We appreciate it. All right.
Thanks. Have a good day, guys.
All right, you too. Okay, let's go to Rick. Rick, what is going on, man?
Hey, what's going on?
It's going. We are live.
Kind of.
So I have a question. Do we know yet if the Note 4 and the Note Edge are going to have the same specs? And is the Note Edge considered an upgrade, and so then it'll be more expensive?
So I like how you ask, because the tone of voice, is fun. It's like
the woman.
So I would tell you that right now, from what I've read, because we haven't, here we haven't seen all the specs like compared side by side. From what I gather, it is a Note 4 spec-wise, like kind of like a B flavor, not an upgrade. One has that edge screen and one does not. That's everything that I'm getting up to this point. So from what we're posting and what people are saying, but obviously we've watched this same thing. So there are some questions that we have that people that have had a hands-on already and have published an article while the keynote was going on that they'd really be able to answer. But I haven't seen a spec side by side yet comparison.
Okay, so then we don't even know if it's same price point then.
Yeah, if someone knows and has read something, because again, we're just doing this on the fly, they can definitely call in and let us know.
We've got an editor's take on the front door of CNET, and the second sentence basically says it's essentially a Galaxy Note Edge. It's essentially a Galaxy Note 4 with a curved independent right edge. That's
okay.
It's
all right.
Otherwise indistinguishable.
There you go.
All right. Appreciate it.
All right. Thanks for calling, Rick. Appreciate it, bro.
Bye-bye.
All right, we will take a few more calls here and just wrap it up. Let's go to my man Shamar in Atlanta. Shamar always calls us. Shamel, what's up, bro?
Hey, what's going on, BTZ? I didn't even know. Normally you send out a little Twitter blast, but I guess it was early for you, too.
I tweeted you. You know what? If it was 5 a.m. my time, you were still sleeping 8 a.m. your time. So don't blame them. I was up. You were not up. Don't put that on me.
The tweet went out. I retweeted that tweet.
Don't
I know
put
that tweet
on
happened.
me, bro.
I'm messing with you, bro.
I was here and you were drooling.
Very true. Very true.
So what's going on, man?
Oh, nothing much. I just want to know how you guys feel, like, as far as, for maybe an S5 user. Now, I wasn't sure what the other gentleman had called about. He said that whether or not this was like an upgrade or something that kind of surpassed the S5. But do you think this is enough to kind of just give them some type of momentum against Apple's event coming next week, or is this just another one of their many screen sizes? The Edge is pretty cool, though. I have to give them props on that. That
absolutely
looks pretty tight. And Swartzy, Crystal, they're getting a little fancy here.
Fancy, huh?
I'm just wondering how you guys think this is. This like a showstopper, or because I like it, but I don't know if I love it.
Well, for me, like I've kind of said this over and over, if you're a Note user, it's a completely different case use than using pretty much any phone that does not have a stylus. Whether it's you want the biggest screen possible or you want that stylus interaction. I mean, if you want a stylus-based phone, there's really no other product to me that can hold a torch to it right now. But will it give them enough momentum? At the same time, I feel like the Note market is not a large market when you look at the entire layout of what type of phones people are buying. It's not like the Note is taking up even like a 20% chunk of that. So that's still, it's not enough to drive people towards that direction unless they're looking for something like that, unless it's a user that might be bored or tired of a small screen, and unless it's a user that wants more productivity out of their phone.
Yeah, I mean, or people just want a change.
Yeah.
It could. Some of this can also just be the whim of fashion. People just feel
Swarovski.
Let's do something different. Let's go giant phone. Maybe this is
make
the
my
year
phone
of the
look like
giant
my
phone.
watch, and my watch look like my phone.
I mean, we know that it's going to be. I feel like it's going to be one of those rising tide lifts all ships kind of things, where when Apple is going to say, like, look, the big phone is the thing now, and then other big phones are going to benefit from that too. I think Samsung's probably going to sell plenty of Notes and Note Edges. Not in spite of Apple, but because some way of Apple coming on board with the same philosophy.
Yeah.
So what was the Alpha? No, I was kind of thinking that was going to be like their showstopper, considering that I heard that it was 4.7 and all metal and all this other stuff. So I would have thought that they probably would have been trying to. I know this is a Note 4 event, but I was thinking that maybe they're going to try to just anything. Please, Apple, don't come out with a screen size the same size so our market doesn't atrophy.
Well, you make a good point though, Shamar, because it was a Note 4 event, but they announced a lot of other things. They announced the Gear S, they announced the VR headset. Could they have shined a little more light on the Alpha? Absolutely. It's one of those curious things where Samsung has so many products that I don't even think they know exactly when to announce what, because in my mind, the Alpha should have been something that they should have given more attention to instead of just like putting it out there.
Did we really want to watch the three of them talk about yet another product?
I did not want them. I did not want them to.
Honestly, I just woke up about 35 minutes ago and tried to catch up, so I didn't sound like a complete idiot when I called you guys.
Yeah.
But I was just trying to catch up on everything. And they have the shoe store mobile. I mean, they give it to you in all sizes, all fun. I get it. I get it. They do that. They used to that with appliances and all the other little electronics before they got into mobile. So I guess I've been kind of looking at their philosophy as far as like just throwing stuff out. And I was thinking to myself, I'm like, why do they do this? They just want to be able to give you whatever it is that you want and the size that you want. But I'm just hoping it doesn't come off I don't know. I don't want to say desperate. That's harsh. But like,
I don't think they're
trying
desperate.
To just find something that just the crowd is going to line up, and it's going to be a whole weekend thing where they sell 9 million in a weekend. So, but I think they did pretty good here.
I thought it was
I
solid.
give them props on this. I just hope that it catches fire for them.
All right, thanks for calling, Shamar. Appreciate it.
Yep.
No
That was good to
problem.
hear from you.
You know what? What's also interesting, a point that came up while he was talking on the flip side, is that when we talk about Apple bringing more attention to some of these bigger screen phones, quite honestly, Samsung and the Android world has influenced the fact that Apple is, at least from what we hear rumored, is going to make multiple screen size phones. That's something that they would have never done. That's why, in a way, like I hear all these rumors about, I'm like, will Apple really make multiple sized screen phones? And the whole trend in everywhere except Apple has been give people different screens at different sizes for what they want.
And Apple's whole philosophy has been, let us tell you what you want.
Yeah.
You don't know what you want until we tell you what it is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so I think it's going to be interesting. What story will they tell now? Because they've been telling us this entire story for how many years?
The iPhone is the perfect size for the human hand. And then we discovered there's different sizes of human hands. My goodness.
Well, if you're Tim Cook, this is an amazing discovery. The iPhone 6 in your hand. Mark my words, that's exactly how he talks when he does keynotes.
We think you'll love it. We think you're going to love it.
All right, there's a lot of people still on the phone lines. We're just going to kind of crank through these. I'll take the last 3 that called, just so we can get through everybody, and then we will wrap things up. But just to give you a briefer on what we saw today, Samsung announced their Note 4 Edge, which kind of has that cool curved screen on the side. Their Gear S watch, they had formally announced it just last week or a few days ago, but they showcased it off in public, and then also
they also announced it the day that Apple sent out their invites to their iPhone
just
event.
in case y'all did.
Yeah, that was
they saw what was the trending topic on Twitter. It wasn't the Gear S.
Boom.
And then Samsung's partnership with Oculus Rift, or Facebook-owned Oculus Rift, for their Samsung Gear VR. The most informative, no BS, real part of the keynote was John Carmack
that was like
delivering actual information that I learned something.
My ears perked up as soon as I could. Just the difference in tone. Like, wait, human beings talking right now. This is interesting. And he seemed genuinely actually enthusiastic about the partnership and the technology. He explained it in a way that didn't seem like it was just hyperbole.
And then the worst part about that was then when they said bye to Carmack. Carmack was listening to him, and the dude was reading off a script saying, like, it's so disingenuous. It was ridiculous. Okay.
Still, it made me, once he came on and explained it, it made me care about their Oculus product, the partnership, more than I had going into it.
Maybe they just don't have a person that can be authentic enough where we don't smell BS right off the start. People actually detect that these days. It's pretty easy.
Yeah. I don't know. I think a lot of people also just grit their teeth and just are waiting for the product information, pricing and availability.
Wait, there was actually product information?
Well, we'll pick it out later. We'll see it in the blog post.
All right, let's go hit up Charles calling us from Pittsburgh. What's up, Charles?
Yes, how you doing?
Doing good. What's your thoughts, man?
You know what? I wasn't wowed at all. The Note 4 looked just like the Note 3 to me.
It has a metal edge, bro. It has a metal edge.
That's still not gonna make a difference to me. It's awesome. I like the Edge one actually better. And the watch, I'm still not. I don't wear a watch now, but I'm still trying to wait for a watch to wow me. So I'm still in that version right now too.
Yeah. I think you're not alone. I think the only watch that my tastes are typically different from what most people like, but I do think the LG G Watch R, which is the round face, actually looks like kind of one of more of those outdoorsy kind of I don't want to say chunky, but it looks rugged, but it actually looks like kind of a grittier watch. That's the best design I've seen so far, other than the Moto 360. I think the Moto 360 does look like a classical watch. It's a little too sterile for me, but it's the most exciting one. Like here's the G Watch R. That one looks like probably the nicest real world watch design. And I've been saying this from day one. I said this before. To me, a smartwatch will convince me when it actually looks like a fashionable piece of technology.
That screen changes.
Yeah, that screen changes.
Yes.
And in addition to that, I believe that specific screen, the entire screen, all 360 degrees, is actually usable, where not too many people are familiar with the Moto 360. There's a section of it that actually doesn't light up because it has like a auto light type sensor and different drivers, so that entire screen actually doesn't illuminate. So, you know, it's figuring itself out.
It's interesting though that with smartwatches that we are still so fixated on like old style design. Like it's the stuff that looks the most like old watches, round faces, that get our attention more than the more futuristic, you know, all screens.
And that, you know, I personally just felt that way from the start. Like for me to wear a completely new piece of technology, that's a watch feels like it has to harken back to something.
Yeah.
You know, that for me, that's just me. I could be totally
Well,
different.
on the other hand, we've got like the Oculus Rift, and we're ready to strap a Note 4 to our face.
You might be.
Yeah, well, actually, I'm with you on that one. Actually, I'm more interested in the G Watch because I'm actually going to hold off and wait for what Apple says.
Yeah,
If they
absolutely.
bring out something like the G Watch, because I'm more of an Apple fan, but I've been going on Android side, but I'm really digging the G Watch. I'm right with you on that one because I like a classier style, and that look is definitely where I'm looking at.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, well, thanks for calling in, Charles. We really appreciate it, okay?
All right, have a blessed day.
All right, let's go to LeVar in Philly. What's up, LeVar?
Yes, sir.
I'm here, sir.
Hello.
I'm here.
Hey, I got a question for you guys.
Yes.
My question is, with the Galaxy Note Edge and the Note 4 coming out, they always come out with different renditions, like a metal version or active versions. Do you think they're going to do something like that with the Note 4 and the Note Edge?
What do you think,
They
Donald?
usually do have like the Galaxy. Do they do have the Note 2?
With the Notes, I know, like you said, the Galaxy line, they'll come out with like 4 different
Galaxy Mega,
yeah,
Galaxy Rugged, Galaxy,
With the Note from
Mini,
I haven't seen
they won't do a
anything
mini,
like
right? They won't do a Note Mini.
They won't. They won't. The Note Mini's the Galaxy. I don't know. You know, quite honestly, what they just released today was pretty much 2 different versions of the Note already. That Edge model, and then there's the classic Note 4. Because the form factor and, like I said, the audience for that specific device is just not as large and as mainstream as a standard phone. It would surprise me if they made an active version. I mean, they always could because they're just Samsung, but I don't know. You know, they didn't say anything like that. I wouldn't expect it for that specific phone, because at the same time, I feel like if you have an active model, you want it to fit in your pocket.
Commit the money to the new Note 4 or the Edge, and then find out later there's an Alpha Edge coming out, or there's an Alpha 4 coming out. You know.
You know what? Don't worry. There will be. Like knowing Samsung, there's gonna be one.
It's
so
gonna be the Edges.
they're always playing around like that. So you know, we will see. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for calling in. All right. Let's jump here. 2 more calls. Let's go to Philip from New York. Mr. Philip.
Yes.
What's going on?
Excuse me?
What's going on? Welcome to CNET. You are here. You are live.
Oh, hi. I got a question about new S4, Galaxy Note 4 and the features from Galaxy S5.
Okay.
Will they be available on Note 4? I mean, like fingerprint scanner, water resistance.
Okay, so you know what? Philip actually asked questions that they didn't necessarily talk about, and now I have all the specs of the Note 4 here in front of me, and we do know, at least on stage, they showed that it does have a heart rate monitor. Again, I haven't seen the official stat sheet, but it is supposed to have a fingerprint scanner, USB 3.0. The camera has improved from a 13 megapixel to a 16 megapixel. It does have a 3.7 megapixel front-facing camera with that wider angle range. One thing they didn't talk about that's been reported is that the processor inside the Note 4, depending on your region, and this happened also with the S5, will be either a quad-core Snapdragon or an Exynos octa-core processor, depending. So, what are you highlighting over there, Steven?
the processor, Note 4? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. So, but he was just asking.
2.7 gigahertz.
They didn't show the fingerprint scanner off at all on the Note 4, but from what I had read earlier, that it was expected to be in it. But again, if someone can confirm that to us, just let us know, and we'll see. But we probably won't be able to find that out unless our last caller tells us.
Yeah, it does seem like, especially with a product that's geared towards the business professional. That
Look at you using those
scanner.
note words again, geared. You've been dropping them all day long.
They use the entire alphabet in all of their product names. I can't help.
Oh, there you go again. You said alpha.
The Galaxy alphabet. Yeah.
Okay.
Anyways, my point was made. They should have it. Darn it! But if they don't, then it's their loss.
All right, let's go to our final call of the day. Terrence is calling us. Terrence, if you can turn down the volume on your computer, you will be able to talk to us, and we'll be all good.
Okay.
Hey, what's up, Terrence?
How you doing?
Good, man. What do you want to talk about?
Earlier you mentioned Tim Cook, and I like your impression, by the way.
Is it pretty good?
That was spot on.
Close your eyes. It's Tim Cook in living color, man.
If you're Tim Cook, you're watching Samsung's Unpacked event about their next flagship device, the Samsung Galaxy Note 4, and then Apple's event is right around the corner here. What do you think he's taken away from it, or what do you think was their overall honest impression of the Samsung Unpacked event? Because I feel like I watch both events, and at times, more recently, it feels like Apple events have become just as scripted as Samsung's events.
Well, Terrence, I've got to tell you. No, I'm not going to do. I will get my thoughts out. I do agree with you definitely on the scripted side. Quite honestly, Steve Jobs was such a great organic presenter that had passion. You could feel it. You could sense it. No one has been able to replicate that we have seen up to this point. So we'll see what Apple does. But from a standpoint of what is Tim Cook thinking right now, whether or not he is impressed or scared or laughing, I think what it comes down to is that there is such a pent-up demand for people that are currently iPhone users that go as far back as still owning an iPhone 4 and a 4S that have just said, I want a bigger screen iPhone. And what's going to keep them in the Apple world is that ecosystem. And do they want a bigger screen? Yes. And are they going to probably buy the next phone that has a bigger screen? Yes. And we've seen people jump over. Yes, the percentages of users have shifted, have moved, and there are definitely, Android continues to grow. Windows Phone gets a tiny bit of slice. Apple may not be as dominant as they were 5-6 years ago, which they shouldn't be, but I think ultimately there's so much demand for that iPhone, for the current iPhone user base. He's not worried.
Yeah.
I
also have to think if I were Apple, I would have watched that and have been thankful that Apple's not just a company that makes hardware.
Mm-hmm.
Part of what we're going to see is a recap on the next iOS. They'll be able to tell the story of iOS, be able to tell the story about how it dovetails with the MacBooks and works with the entire ecosystem of products and the iTunes and media and whatever the whole Beats acquisition might bear on everything. I think there's a wider story to tell. We have to kind of deal with the fracture of being an Android fan and wanting to talk about the Android operating system and being a fan of the hardware that it runs on. Samsung can't really talk to Android, the future of Android, the way they can just hammer down on all the features that their hardware can do.
Because I noticed they didn't. That none of the speakers really touched on either TouchWiz or any software features. Sans Android. That was coming to the Note 4. And I have a Note 3 and an iPhone 5, and I enjoy my Note 3 for the real estate of screen size.
Yeah.
But when it comes to functionality, hands down, I give that to Apple and their iOS. So I was a bit disappointed beyond the scripted event and how it was kind of boring too. It's kind of disappointing. Really didn't see too many new software features that could fully take advantage of all that screen space and the new S Pen. But looking forward to Apple's event either way.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be very interesting. People are like, oh, you're only saying this because you're an Apple fanboy, which I do have Apple products, but I do like what's going on in the Android world as well. There's a lot of excitement just because just like back in the day when we heard Apple was making an iPhone, when we heard Apple was making an iPad, those first reveals, we actually never saw the product, leaked out.
Right.
And we know that everyone's been working on a wearable, but I don't even want Apple's watch right now, whatever it is, whatever wearable it is, but I'm actually excited to see what it looks like because no one has shown, we don't know what it looks like. And to keep a secret like that is really hard today. And so I think it's going to be interesting. And then one other point, when you talk about this, when you mentioned the whole scripted nature of the presentations now, and because there are people that, aren't as talented, I've always also said, people have been complaining about the past 2 years about Tim Cook as a CEO. I'll judge Tim Cook off of his first new product release that is under his regime. So this will be his very first new product release.
What about iPad Mini?
Well, that's just a smaller iPad, but I'm talking about like a whole new product category.
Yeah, okay.
Right, that people are asking. So will Tim Cook be the main presenter for that? We will see. A lot of times Phil Schiller has done all the hardware, but if they want to dovetail with this ownership of like, all right, this is under Tim Cook's regime.
Maybe they'll get Dre out there.
Maybe they will. Don't forget about Dre. Don't forget about Dre. So we will see, and we will save all this commentary for September the 9th. I know you guys are going to be out here in droves. So, Terrence, if you watch that with us, my man, please call, and we'd love to hear what you think on that too, all right?
Will do, Brian. I love your Apple by Web series. Love it. Big
thanks.
fan.
Appreciate it a lot, man. All right. So,
all right, you guys.
Oops, sorry.
You're about to say he loves top 5 too, and you cut him off.
Did he?
No,
Terrence?
he's about.
I love Stephen Beacham, and then Donald. Yeah, you're all right. You're all right, Donald.
I'll take it. It's all right.
So, thanks for everyone for watching here. That wraps up all of our coverage. Again, just stick with us at CNET. We have everything hands-on, first looks, reviews, impressions of everything that Samsung announced. We also will have Sony's streaming event. We will not be here, but Sony will be doing their own keynote at IFA. We'll be showing that off here. With a live blog. And just thanks to the CNET UK team out there. Again, September 9th, we're going to be here in the house. Donald Bell, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Brian Tong.
Stephen Beacham.
Always. Howdy.
Thank you very much.
Bye, everybody.
All right, we will see you guys next week. September 9th. Be there. Peace.
See ya.